What's up there, everybody? How you doing today? Yeah? Good. That's good to hear. Me too. I'm being honest, right? I wanted to talk about honesty. Honesty is being the best policy. You know that old statement, that old comment. Honesty is the best policy. I was raised to be an honest person, and I've often been brutally honest with myself and with others. Of course, I've also fooled myself at times, but generally that consensus of reality always surfaces, and I'm like, okay, dude, you have to be able to explain or rationalize this, or else it's just you're just lying to yourself, you know. And I do. It's funny because I'm overly honest with myself to the point where, I'm aware of my shortcomings. I'm aware when I get, say, overly angry, or what do you got there, birdie? I'm aware when I'm acting like a chump, or you know, being overly, I don't know, overbearing, or maybe, God damn it, I gotta get a picture of this guy. I have a picture of a crow with the French fry as my, screen thing. I thought this was funny. Anyway, honesty being, there's two different types of honesty. There's the honesty with others and the honesty with ourselves. And the honesty with others seems to be something that we cherish. In other words, liars in this society are put down and ridiculed, and that's a good thing. It's something that shows that humans have uh, a certain set of standards that kind of falls within all communities. In other words, all the different religions, all the different cultures. There's one thing that's universal: is that liars are regarded as, well, lesser people, if you will. I mean, if a person lies constantly, they're not going to make any friends, because nobody wants to be with them if they're going to lie to them all the time. But there are plenty of people who lie to the world, and that's fine. But not fine, but I mean, it is what it is. But I'm talking in the other sense of lying is lying to yourself, whereas we tell the truth to everyone in the world that we think is true, and just be as honest as we can, but not acknowledge ourselves or our own shortcomings. And addictions, for example. Addictions are a good example. I've had several addictions in my life, and arguing that they're not addictions has been a theme sometimes. But at the same time, realizing with honesty with myself that of course they're addictions. Everything is an addiction. Getting up in the morning and having my cup of coffee is an addiction. You know, certain types of food are an addiction. Maybe watching a certain program that you're really into, going to the internet, checking your messages, all these things are all just components of, maybe not a direct physical addiction, but rather a mental addiction to our world. And not in just the sense of like substances, but ideas. We become addicted to ideas so strongly that it's difficult for us to find any way to break away from it. We don't want to. In other words, if we've built up a paradigm of something that we believe is true for so long, and we find out that that's maybe not true, it's enough to really deter a lot of people from seeking anything else. In other words, if you've been let down, if you've been disillusioned, I guess here's a perfect example. It's a person who was raised in a Christian household, and once they got out, like say, into the world, and into their 20s, they realized that they had just been being told what the universe is about, when in reality, there's a lot more to it. Anyway, the person may feel disillusioned because they've been lied to for so long, and therefore refuse to believe anything that has anything to do with religion, spirituality, or anything, and go, let's say, full-blown atheist. In other words, we take the extreme views when we're so appalled by the way one side acts. It's the same reason why people go to, Republican or Democrat, or pick a particular belief system or a group or a team. It's to feel like we have it figured out, I guess. But being honest with ourselves, I guess, means every day kind of questioning why we do the things we do, And it's okay to lie to ourselves sometimes. It's what makes us, it's what keeps us going. If we're constantly putting ourselves down for everything and saying, oh no, never get anything done. But I think lying to ourselves is something that we have to work on, but lying to other people is something that is unacceptable. And thank goodness that society regards it as unacceptable. There are two types of people. Well, there's three types of people that I really find appalling. Liars, thieves, and abusers. Now, this is people who lie to others, thieves who steal from others, and abusers who either verbally or physically abuse a person. It could be through language, it could be through physical abuse, but anybody who takes out abuse on another is, I think, it's a major problem in society and very, very common. Abusing people does nothing for the individual or the other person. It just makes a person think that they, I guess, have one up on the world. I don't know, but thieves, there's kind of a middle ground there. If you're a person who's grown up in a suppressed society, if you're oppressed and you can't make any money and you have no other recourse, and you find a way to steal from corporations, that's quite different than the person who just wants to have more and steals from his friends or family so he can buy drugs or whatnot, or just stealing for the sake of stealing. So I understand stealing to survive, and if I had to steal to survive, I would do it, no problem. But it's a matter of who do you steal from. You steal from individuals, you're stealing from corporations. Really, stealing is stealing, but there is a gray area when people are poor and oppressed. So there it is, honesty with ourselves. Thieves, liars, and abusers, the three things that society frowns upon and that are pretty universal. Unfortunately, not as universal as they should be, such as, let's say, abuse of women being accepted in many countries and many places, abuse of children being considered okay because they're your children, that kind of stuff. And these are cultural problems that we need to work on. So anyway, hey Katie. People who abuse animals are some of the most foul, disgusting creatures on earth. People who hit their dogs, hit their wives, hit their cats, hit their kids. They're sick, twisted people. Peace, everybody.